Hey, welcome to the channel, friends. As always, man, I am super stoked and pumped up to see you. So Stoker here, and today we're going to look at a pair of everyday carry lights and put them head-to-head challenge and see which one is the best. Daytime, nighttime, full features, 100%, no holds barred. What is the best entry-level tactical flashlight that you can pick up on the market right now? Hey, if you want to master your craft and develop your tactical virtue, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on some future content. As we get going, both of these flashlights are both amazing. By the way, this is not an advertisement. These are my own flashlights, and I'm going to give you my own thoughts, my own opinions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But if you do want any more information and some details on here about these things, look down in the description below. You'll find a link over to my Amazon influencer page. You should be able to find each one of these things, and you can buy one if you want to. I do want to know what everyday carry light do you carry on your person all the time? Which one do you have on your bedside? Which one do you have in your vehicle, your truck, whatever the case is? I want to know what you're using and what you like about it and what you don't like about it. So the first flashlight we're going to look at here is the Sofrin SP33. This is the version 3, and then the other one is the PowerTac M6. The PowerTac M6 retails, I think I paid like $65 for this thing, and then the Sofrin, it runs around $50. Now the Sofrin boasts like 3,000 lumens, and whereas the PowerTac boasts about 1,500, something like that. So quite the disparity. What does that mean? Is it a gimmick? Can you really, is this thing really twice as strong, twice as powerful? We're going to find out here towards the end of the video. We're going to get out and do some nighttime shooting, both in the house and outside. The PowerTac has a magnetic base on it, but to be honest with you, it sounds like a Red Ryder BB gun, right? with a compass in the stock. I don't know that I'd ever use that, but whatever. That's what you have. Also, got a little belt clip here, which I guess put on a belt or down in the pants just to help secure it one way or another. And then where the PowerTac really shines a little bit brighter, so to speak, is that you can put on a red filter on this thing, which is the very next thing I'm going to pick up. I'm surprised I haven't already done so. That way I can use it out in the field when I'm trying to maintain a little bit of noise and light discipline. Boom, you got a red light instead of a big old bright white light. While the PowerTac has some pros like that, it does have one big con, and that is the magnetic base that it uses to charge this thing for the actual charging port. If I lose my power cord, I just can't go buy a new one. Whereas the Sofrin does not have a compass in the stock. It doesn't have a magnetic base, but it does just use a standard USB charging port. You can open that up and get right to it. So that's where this thing shines a little bit brighter. I will tell you, on the PowerTac, these dudes, their customer service is unbelievable. I haven't had to use the Sofrin's customer service for anything, but I did have to send my PowerTac back earlier on. It was giving me some problems. I sent it back to them, and they have a lifetime warranty on this thing, so that's awesome. So you spend $70, which may be a little bit pricier, but at least you know that it's backed by a company here in the United States that backs their products 100%, right? I haven't had to test it on these guys. Right, so as you can see, one is actually larger than the other, right? The Sofrin is about twice as big, almost. At least that's what it feels like. The PowerTac feels a little bit lighter and more nimble in your hand. If you had to use it with something else in your hands, it might seem a little bit easier. Or if you're a smaller framed hands or female, this one might be a little bit larger than what you want to be holding to get on with some different business. Maybe you're having to work through a house or out in a parking lot or something like that, and you want something smaller that you can fit in your purse. This is going to be a little bit easier. Now, both of these are bright as anything, and we compare it to like maybe a headlamp that you may go pick up at Walmart or something. You might be lucky to get just a couple hundred lumens. Here we're talking over 1,000 and boasting 3,000 lumens. So these are both bright AF. Right, as you can see, even during the daylight, man, these things are just bright as anything, right? But we don't care about how bright they are during the day. We care about how bright they are at night. So let's go put these things to the test. Let's take a look at these things, side-by-side comparisons. In my house, we'll start off at night, walking down my hallway, and we'll do a side-by-side between the PowerTac first and a headlamp, and then we'll go PowerTac versus the Sofrin. As you can see walking down, man, it is dark as anything, and obviously the PowerTac is way brighter than the headlamp. And look at, you can see the details in this, and I don't think the camera is really doing this thing justice. But let's take a look at a comparison between the PowerTac and the Sofrin. Man, as you can see, man, that Sofrin is just bright as anything. It almost really does feel like it's twice as bright, especially inside the house. Now, the other scenario I really wanted to show you was outside. Maybe you're walking through a parking lot trying to get to your vehicle, and we maybe have some overhead lighting, but it's not overly bright, and you just want to be able to shine a light and see what's going on around you. Man, so side-by-side comparison, and look how well that Sofrin lights up that building across the way. And then we look down in this little dark alleyway, and again, you know, the iPhone is not really doing this thing justice, because using the Sofrin, man, I can really see how green that grass is on the other side of those buildings. It's absolutely unbelievable, man. This thing is super bright. Now, the one thing I don't like about either one of these things is the fact that the power button is right on the side and on the opposing side of the port to charge it. And what that means ultimately is that you might be pushing the charging button rather than the power button, right? You don't want to do that. That's why I don't like how they designed this thing with a compass, or with a compass in the back, with a magnet in the back. It would have been better, you know, if the power button was back here. You know, that would have made a lot more sense to me. Right, so to operate each one is both very similar. You push the stinking button and it turns it on. Of course, on the Sofrin, if you hit the double, it's like a big old whammy. You get that thing twice as bright. Look at that thing, man, that is unbelievable. And then simple click, one click. The Sofrin long button gives you a nice, like just a moonbeam glow. And if you hold this thing down long, it drives you crazy. And after you have it on, if you hold it down, it'll cycle through all the operation. And this one will do the same thing. So they are both water resistant. I don't know that they're waterproof, probably to a certain degree anyways. I think, you know, when it comes to looking at these, you know, the PowerTac features let's look at the size of the battery on this thing. It is a 2600 milliamp battery, while the Sofrin is quite a lot larger, and that's 5500 lumens. Right, and so that's why there's so much size disparity between the two. Now, what does that mean ultimately? You know, at the end of the day, well, the PowerTac is probably going to burn through battery life a little bit more frequently than the Sofrin. Hey everybody, so there you go. Let me know what you think about these two crazy bright lights. I think I just blinded myself. And we'll keep this conversation rolling. Which one would you want to put into your kit bag and trust? Which one do you have right now? And let's just keep this conversation rolling. And as always, man, until then, you stay stoked.